She's down under, but she's on top of the world, and she won't stop. Flying free, no looking back, turning every crack into a map. Hello, beautiful. Welcome to another episode of Likha Love. I can't believe it's already the last week of December. This year has been such an incredible year for me. I've had such a huge transformation, and I decided to end the year with a new hairdo. I added more blonde into my hair. I actually had a dream that my daughter, who has bangs, and at the time I didn't have bangs when I had the dream. I had dreamed that she had blonde through her hair, like how I used to have my money piece, but with no bangs. And I told her about it, and I thought, oh, maybe she's gonna do it one day. And then I had this urge to do my hair like that for quite a few weeks, and then finally I just did it. I just went and got my hair done, and I love it. I feel like a new person, and I feel more myself. I don't know why, but I feel more myself with my hair like this. I just love it. It's different and I love it. Anyway, so this year has been so incredible. I've had such a huge transformation this year, and it's in just 1 year my life completely flipped 180 compared to what it was before. From my physical health to my mindset, everything changed. And I woke up this morning, and the first thing I did, I have my morning routine. I'm not as consistent as I want to be, but my morning routine is I gargle coconut oil. I do oil pulling, and that's how I maintain a clean, uh, white teeth. I do it first thing in the morning before I eat anything. So this morning, after I did that, I went outside, and I wanted to have the sunshine. First thing in the morning, I try to have sunshine on my skin. So I went on the porch, and I had my laptop out and my phone out, because I knew that was the time that when I get downloads and just that peace and quiet that I have with God when I'm meditating, that's when I get information that I know I instantly want to write it down. And so this is one of them, and I'm going to read it out to you. It's called Everything Changed When I Changed Everything. Everything changed when I changed everything. This year, I made the most extreme changes of my life, and I'm so glad I did. I did a lot of detoxing, both physically and mentally. I let go of habits that were toxic to my body and mindsets that were toxic to my soul. I learned to release. I released relationships that were no longer good for me. I freed myself from the expectations the world placed on me and the need to prove myself worthy of others' love and attention. I learned to truly and deeply love and prioritize myself. And it has been the best year yet. Everything I once wanted and dreamed of flowed to me effortlessly in ways I could have never planned more perfectly. I told God my desires and trusted Him with the details. All I had to do was let go of control and watch everything unfold in real time. I no longer wanted the old patterns. I wanted different, so I became different. I changed everything, my habits, my ways, and most importantly, my thinking. At the beginning of the year, I lost a best friend, the last heartbreak that completely changed the course of my life for the better. Losing her also meant losing my vices and gaining back my time. All the energy I once poured into making her happy was finally poured back into myself. That's when I truly began focusing on my own growth. I dove into my shadows, facing parts of myself I didn't want to see, and learning from them. I wanted real transformation, genuine change. I wanted to understand what program beliefs were running my life and how to rewrite them. Why was I attracting people who weren't good for me? Why was I so determined to help people who didn't want help? Why did I try so hard to make everyone else happy while neglecting myself? It was time to flip the script. I stopped seeing myself as a victim and started understanding that everything was happening for me and because of me. What was happening inside of me was creating the reality outside of me. So I asked the deeper question, why am I the way I am? I knew if I wanted a complete transformation, I had to fully commit. So I moved differently. I thought differently. I spoke differently. I asked myself, what would the best version of me do? How does she think? What habits does she have? The best version of me lives with intention. She learned to be still. She meditates every day, listening to the God within instead of the noise around her. She is more present, noticing everything, the colors of the sky, the emotions behind people's words, the chirp of birds, all love letters from God. She listens to her body, over it, and pays attention to emotions and triggers as they arise, making sure they are acknowledged rather than ignored. By loving herself, healthy habits became effortless. Movement, nourishment, and time alone are essential. Peace is non-negotiable. Self-love is the highest priority. The change I've experienced this year has been nothing short of incredible. 1 year of better choices completely transformed my life. I still have work to do, but can you imagine the version of me 1 year from now? To change your personal reality, you must first change your personality. And that's exactly what I did. I know who I am now. I feel more like myself than ever before. When I released the opinions and influences that didn't serve the highest version of me, I collapsed timelines I no longer belong to and stepped fully into a new one. My transformation is living proof that change is possible for anyone. I went from a life of suffering to a life of peace and joy every single day. This is the reality I prayed for. And sometimes I still can't believe I'm living it. So here's to the new year and to meeting an even more embodied version of myself in 2026. So proud of myself with that one. It just flowed through me. This was my self reflect. I can't even speak. This was my self reflect. This was my self reflection this morning. To be able to sit here and just talk about how great my year was just because of the choices I made. I did it, right? When I decided that I was no longer going to be a victim, I took control of my thoughts. I took control of my actions. I took control of my life by making better choices. And really, it really all boils down to learning to love myself. Like, really learning to love myself. All through the years, I'll be like, oh, when I was learning about self love, I thought I got it. I thought I understood. But no, this year, I truly, 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 truly understood it. You know, self love. Self love is not what people think it is. Self love, people think self love is selfish, but it's not. It's actually so freaking important. The self love that I have for myself now is so unconditional. This year, I did so much work on myself. I really wanted to find the root of all my issues, the root of all my problems, the root of all my traumas. And so I did the work, right? I wanted my triggers to come up. I wanted my triggers to come up to show me what was still controlling my life. And so what I did is that when things popped up, I acknowledged it. And I started to learn to see things in a different perspective, not in a victim perspective, but in a view where I try to understand the situation, what happened, looked at it, what I didn't know, acknowledged that I didn't know, and I forgave myself for not knowing better. And I looked at all the lessons that I can learn from that situation, and then I released it. One of the biggest, oh my gosh, one of the biggest things that I thought I would never uh overcome was the fear of worms. Oh my gosh. So I have this mindset coach that helped me through a lot of my problems. When I joined her program and her coaching, it was it was about making income, right? That was the goal, is to to help you with your limiting beliefs when it comes to money. But oh my gosh, I told her that she did more than that for me. Like, I came into that knowing that there's going to be change in my life, but really not really understanding how deep of a change. Like, one of the things that she does is timeline therapy. And this was our first coaching Zoom call. We went back and it just popped into my mind, right? She said, pick an age. And I'm like, 3? That's weird. 3? Okay, what do I remember from 3 years old? At 3 years old, I had my very first traumatizing experience. When I was a child, we lived at a church parsonage in the Philippines. And it was a huge compound. It was a huge church. Probably like 400 or 500 people went to that church, and we lived in the parsonage that was in that compound. It was very safe. It was in the island of Mindanao, and so I pretty much roamed around the area, roamed around in the compound all day when we were home. And what I would do as a child, so disgusting. What I did as a child, I would walk around the building, around the church, and if I saw, like, I guess I didn't get enough junk food as a kid, and then when I saw it, I was like, yeah, and I just wanted it. And so I would see like little chip on the ground, and I would pick it up and eat it. And that was like my thing. I was the kid that would pick chili off the trees, pick fruit that had fallen from the ground, eat that fruit from the ground. Like, I didn't know if it was rotten. I never thought about bacteria and germs. Like, I just saw it, I wanted it, and I ate it. Okay, I wasn't a picky eater. Still not. But obviously as an adult, we know that that shouldn't be done because of all the things that can grow in your belly from eating things that are not clean. Anyway, I ended up at 3 years old. I remember clearly I was in the parsonage and I was at the kitchen door. I remember not feeling good. And then I end up throwing up a freaking worm out of my mouth, out of my belly. I threw up a worm. Uh, uh, uh. Not an earthworm. I guess a parasite? I don't know, but it was a freaking worm. And since I was 3 years old, I had a crippling fear of worms. I mean, crippling. Every time it rained, I had anxiety. I did not want to go outside. I couldn't even look at a picture of a worm. And if I did see a picture of a worm, if I was turning a book and I accidentally touched that picture of a worm, I would squirm, throw that book away as if I touched the real thing. It was bad. And I didn't realize that that fear of worms that I had at 3 years old manifested into so many parts of my life that has really affected me in adulthood. That crippling fear, I really thought I was never going to get rid of. And one session with Sherry Ann, this amazing woman, it, it went away after that one session. And I knew after that one session, I was like, okay. So she had this freebie, it was just our first call, and that's what we accomplished in that one call. And after that, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to keep seeing her. And so I locked her in for another 3 more months. And it's just every time I met her via Zoom call, more things kept coming up, more limiting beliefs started coming up, and I was just, oh my gosh, I was really just transmuting a lot of these negative beliefs, a lot of my pain, a lot of trauma that I had been holding back, I have been ignoring, or I just haven't been paying attention to all these things that started coming up, and I was able to work on them, able to look at them, acknowledge them, release them. And every time I did that, I just became a better version of myself. It was constant transformation after every session. And, it's not just that those sessions where I was making transformations, it was like every day I made sure I was meditating every single day. How I went from not being able to be still, not being able to be in complete silence, to craving silence because I wanted that time. I wanted that time to be quiet. Now I want to always have time to listen to God, to meditate and hear his voice, because that's the most important relationship I have is with God. And so I've really prioritized my time with God, and I know that with Christianity, a lot of them, I don't know why, but to them, meditating is evil. Like, what? But the Bible literally says meditate day and night. And so guess what? That's what I do. I meditate before bed while going, right before I go to sleep. And the first thing I do when I wake up. And my meditating isn't me looking like this with my legs crossed and my fingers up like that. Like, I can't do that when I have a toddler. So what I do is I look like I'm sleeping, but I'm not. I'm laying down meditating. And it has been the best thing for me. Oh my gosh. All the insights, the downloads, the everything that comes with it, God speaks to me in so many ways when you meditate. He can show you a vision. You can hear his voice, or like there's so many things. Like I can't even like really explain until you try it, but I really had to train myself to be still. It's so hard to shut off your brain. Learning how to meditate is like exercising, right? You really got to train your muscle to do it. It's not easy, and it's not easy at first. And sometimes when your mind is racing, it really is hard to shut off, but it's a skill that's important to have. It's really, I can't really, I feel like I'm not really explaining meditation very well, but it really has really changed my life, and I can't go a day without it. That is a priority. Talking to God all day, and then taking time to sit and be receptive to whatever information God tells you or shows you through meditation. Like, that is important, just as important as talking to Him. Those are probably the biggest things that I've started doing this year that really transformed my life, is really meditating, and then just really investigating the root of all my issues and my traumas. Because if you don't, if they are left unhealed, it's still going to affect you, right? Because all these traumas and all these problems that are tucked away, hidden in your subconscious, you think it's not affecting your daily when you're ignoring it, but it's actually controlling everything. Your subconscious is running 95% of your life. You think you're in control of everything that you're doing, but actually, no. Whatever has been programmed into your mind since childhood is what's running your life right now. Those beliefs that you have, that is deep there, deep, deep, deep in there, you don't even realize is running your life. And I guess that's why I've been really into neuroscience this year. I just wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how my brain worked. I wanted to learn how I can rewire my mind. I don't want my old life. I want to be different. I want to live different. I want to stay happy all the time. And guess what? Since I've rewired my mind, I have literally had a happy day every single day this year. Yes, I have bad moments. When triggers pop up, gosh, that really takes a toll on your energy. But you just sleep it off and you wake up and you're back to being happy. Every day has been such a good day for me. And it's because I choose to have a good day every single day. You don't realize that it is a choice to see the positive in everything. I've always thought that I was positive growing up, but now I'm like really, really positive. When things go wrong, when I'm fumbling things, tripping over things, dropping things, or my daughter is being, having a fit and it's taking me forever to get out that door, I know when I start getting frustrated, I need to stop. I need to stop what I'm doing and just relax, take a breather, and think, okay, God, I'm slowing down. Okay, God, what is it that you're trying to tell me? I see everything as a teacher. It's amazing how my mind has changed and how easier life feels since I have changed my outlook on everything, literally everything. All the heartbreaks that I have, I know I had it because they weren't for me and they had to be removed out of my life. And yes, some of the removal was so extreme, but it had to be extreme, otherwise I wouldn't have let them go. I see things now when things don't go my way that I think they should. I see that it's God's protection over me or it's a redirection. When someone rejects me for some reason, not like dating, I'm not dating anybody, but I don't see rejection as something negative. I see it as redirection. Okay, that's not for me. All right, that's not working out because it's not time, or there is something better for me. There's always something better. We think that things have to be a certain way with our limited little minds instead of just trusting God, trusting the process, right? I'm not a millionaire yet, but I gotta trust the process. God's asking me to do something, I just do it. Eventually, He's gonna show me in real time why things aren't working out the way I think they should work out. I'm going to see that every step that I've taken is leading me into this life that is better for me. As long as I keep being aligned with God, as long as I stay aligned with God, I am going to get there to this better place, that better and greater than I could ever imagine for myself. Like, I believe it. I believe that is going to happen. It already has. This life I'm living now, oh my gosh, I could have never imagined my life would be like this 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was celebrating Christmas with my family for the first time in over a decade, but without my eldest daughter. She was still in America. And that was so tough. That was so tough for me. But I didn't know in 2 years that version of me 2 years ago who was pregnant and unsure of what life was going to look like, did not expect that in 2 years from that day I would be celebrating Christmas in Australia with both my daughters, and both of them are Australian citizens. I'm literally living the life that I only wished for years ago. I didn't know that it would actually come true. I didn't know that my daughter was finally going to be able to be a citizen and actually live with me full time. Like, that is such a dream come true. You have no idea. My life has transformed because I stuck to it. Every time that I felt like things were going wrong and I just stayed positive. because I know God has a plan that is better than my plan, and that everything always works out for me. I say that every day. Everything always works out for me. I'm so careful with the way I think now because I know how my brain works now. Your brain is constantly listening to what you're saying. And even when you are gossiping about someone else, your brain thinks you're talking about yourself. So I'm so careful with what I say. I tell my body that I love my body. I thank my cells for a healthy body. I had a list of things that I wanted to talk about, of all the things that I've done this year that has really transformed my life. But it's a lot because it's a lot because it's everything. I literally changed everything. And I don't know if I can really get into details with everything in one episode because I literally changed everything. So when I changed my mindset. I changed how I spoke to myself because my brain is listening. I started taking care of my body, like literally just ate less. I only eat 2 meals a day, and I don't do the American portion like I used to. You know, which I have been terrible since Ellie's been around. We've been having a lot of halo halo, and but I freaking love halo halo. I hadn't had it for 2 decades living in America. Like, what is halo halo? There's no Filipinos around me, so I've been eating a lot of halo halo, and but I've been other than that, I've been better. I eat healthier. We are surrounded by so much fast food, and in America I ate so much fast food because it was convenient, but now we prefer to eat at home. We eat and fresh vegetables every single day. It's mango season, so we gotta have our mangoes. you know I started exercising more. The one thing that I hated for a long time was cardio, and now I'm doing 5K runs, well, walks on Saturdays with my family for fun. I used to hate cardio, and now I'm doing it for fun. You still can't really get me on a treadmill, it's just too boring, but I will do a 5K run at a beautiful park where kangaroos hop by when you least expect it. You'll see a kangaroo. um, I've been doing Bollywood dancing. I realized how much movement is so important. You don't realize how much trauma is stored in your body. All the aches and pains that I once had when I was taking so much medication for all my chronic pains. Now I rely on movement. I rely on eating healthy. I rely on drinking better water. I don't rely on medication anymore. And to be able to sit here and say I'm not taking any medication after my list of medications growing, like really going deep into the root of all my issues, learning about how to take care of my own body instead of relying on doctors to medicate you, not helping you heal, but just numbing your symptoms. It's crazy. how doctors didn't help me. They just made things worse, really. And now I took control of my own health and I am the best I've ever been. I'm no medical professional, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job in taking care of my own body. I had so many issues, so many physical issues. I was telling my mother the other day, like, I don't know how I lived with all the chronic pain that I endured every single day, even with medication. I don't know how I did it. My hips were misaligned. My shoulders were always full of knots. Oh my gosh. My legs, the my calves, I thought it was just normal to have for how hard my calves were. I thought, okay, it's just muscle, whatever muscles from wearing heels or something when I was a child, when I was a teenager growing up. No, it was just like my muscles were locked up for years. They were always cramping because they were locked up. They were tense for years. I couldn't roller skate because it was cramping every time I roller skated. It was crazy. They said that I had a back of a 50-year-old. I had arthritis. Oh my gosh, all the inflammation that I had all over my body. I was always in pain. Poor me. I don't know how I survived all those years. But moving my body, the first month of me doing Bollywood Zumba, I would get so emotional, right? In the middle of class, I'm holding back all these tears, and then I'd come home and just cry it out. I didn't realize how much emotions and trauma I was storing, and movement is what releases it. Movement. And so the days that I start feeling frustrated or just sad out of nowhere, I would dance and I would release that stuck emotions that I had. I'd cry it out and then I'd feel better and I'd take a shower. I used to be on so many depression medications and mood stabilizers. And now, what's depression? What? Like, there's too many things to be grateful for to be depressed. Because I choose to see the positive now in everything. I don't want to be depressed. Oh, now I can snap out of it. Sometimes like that. Sometimes it might be a few minutes, but I know I have the tools now to snap myself out of a depressive state. Those tools should have been given to me by the doctors, not medication. I understand the importance of medication when it is an emergency, but medication isn't supposed to be something that you rely on for the rest of your life. Doctors should be giving you the tools to heal the root cause of your issues, not just suppressing your symptoms. Oh man, it's a lot. I did a lot. Yes, I stopped hanging out with people that I don't resonate with, or that have the people that lack boundaries, including family. Because the people that you surround yourself with really affect you. Just their energy affects you. When someone is in a bad mood, it affects you. So I stay away from people who are always negative. I stay away from people who are, you know, pro drugs, that that would suck me back into that state that I don't no longer want to be in. I don't want to be around people that use me and manipulate me and they suck my energy dry with just their negativity. And I even like stop following people if I see someone on my news feed that is always posting things that make me feel ick, or make me feel sad, or make me feel angry, or give me a feeling that is not uplifting. Like, just negative Nancy's, like, I'm done. Bye. Like, I don't want that. I don't want people dragging me down. I'm in such a good place now, and I don't want anyone to influence me out of the positive life that I have now. I've experienced that life of negativity. It's miserable. So I really prioritize choosing peace over chaos. The people who don't give me peace, the people who I can't be peaceful around, I can't be around. I understand there are some people that you have to be around, but I just keep my distance. Like, I don't have to spend all my energy on somebody that is just sucking my energy. I prioritize my feelings. I see my energy as sacred. The people who I allow around me are people that I know are good for me. That we can exchange energies and it be even. I've learned to be more present. It's so, when you're stuck in your mind, you're not present. When you're too worried about what happened last year, or what you said last week, or, you know, what tomorrow is going to look like when you're constantly in your head, you are not present. And I have learned to be more present since I have learned to be more present this year. My phone stays on silent unless I have a call that I know is coming. Otherwise, my phone literally stays on silent. So I am sorry to everyone who, I'm not ignoring you. Okay. I just don't hear your call. I just don't hear your call. I already spend enough time on my phone, and so I don't want to hear notifications going off. I don't want to feel the need to check them all the time. Because what's important is my present moment right now, what's happening here right now with my children, especially when I'm with my children. With my first daughter, I had so much going on, and so even though we spent a lot of time together and I hung out with her a lot, she always says, "Oh, we hung out a lot." So she never felt like I wasn't around. But when we talked about it, I told her, I said, "Yeah, we were together, but I wasn't present." I told her how I was always in my mind, I was depressed or I was worried, I had anxiety. It was just, I wasn't present, truly present. I was beside her, but I wasn't present. So, now when my almost 2-year old hands me a book, I stop what I'm doing and I will read that book. I literally will stop what I'm doing and I will read that book. It takes 1 minute to read a book to her. Those kids' books are so short. And then she moves on. No tantrums. I just read her the book. It does get frustrating though when you're trying to be that good, gentle, and present parent and you have stuff to do and then your child wants your attention. It is tough stopping what you're doing to be more present. But it is the best thing. Our children are our priority. The most utmost priority. So this year has been a year of so much change. I faced my fears. I faced so many fears this year. The fear of being seen. Oh my gosh. I started a new Instagram account a year ago. And I just started posting what I felt needed to be posted. And my posts are intentional compared to what they were before. It was like I would do lots of trends or whatever, just random because I'm bored. But now they're more intentional. Like, I want people to be encouraged. I want people to feel like they've learned something. Or I want people to feel that they can do the same. I want people to feel brave enough that they can do what I'm doing, which is putting myself out there, sharing my story, and facing my fears. Facing my fears really led me to a lot of things that I never thought I would ever do. Just having fun with my children, or sandboarding, skateboarding, things I always wanted to do, but I was kind of scared of. Also, using my voice to speak about things that people don't want to talk about, but I feel like it's important to talk about. Even the fear of doing the right thing. The last time I was in Alabama this year, I reported some I reported a crime done against me. And I went there with my whole body shaking, my voice shaking, and I told them my story. And although nothing came about it and they didn't think that I had enough evidence to even question the suspect, I still did it. I still followed what I know was right. I did the right thing, even though I didn't get the result that I wanted. I still stood up for myself. I stood up for myself. Every fear that I faced has led me to become this better version of myself. Because it's beyond that fear, beyond that unknown. When you step into that fear and you step into the unknown, you find parts of yourself that you didn't know existed. Now I'm so proud of myself for getting past the fears to meet who I am today. I still have so much to work on. So many things that I know that are still in there in my deep in my subconscious that needs to come out so I can face it and let it go. And even lots of little things like learning how to be more organized, decluttering, those things I'm still working on. And being more consistent in my exercise. Because I am a lazy exerciser. I am. So there is a lot of things that I'm still working on. But 1 year, it's only been 1 year of being fully committed to changing everything about me. Just 1 year, and my life completely transformed. And I know a year from today, how much more amazing my life is going to be. As long as I keep aligning with God, as long as I keep on that straight and narrow path, like stop getting distracted with people and drama and things that I don't align with anymore. I'm not straying this time. No, ma'am. I am not straying. I have my eyes set. I have my eyes set on the life that I want. I'm sticking to it. I'm fully committed. I don't watch crap that fills my mind. I do a lot of studying and learning about neuroscience and health. Stay positive, because I know everything that you think over here creates your reality. And I want to see a wonderful and magical life, not of a life of fear. Like, what you think creates your reality. And I want to continue having this positive and this happy life. I'm not going to stray this time. I'm already living the life that I want, and it's just getting better and better. And it's because of how I rewired my mind. And because of this rewiring of my mind, the rest just fell into place. Rewired my mind. I love myself, and the habits, the health, the everything just fell effortlessly behind. Like it just started to come together. Everything just fell into place as soon as I started rewiring my mind and loving myself. Truly amazing. Everything starts in the mind. Everything. Your mindset is everything. Your mindset is key to your reality. You want to change your personal reality? You better change your personality. That version of you who has it all, how do they act? How do they live? How do they think? Be that person, embody that person, and watch your life, watch your physical reality rearrange to fit your preferred reality. That's how it works, guys. I've learned that. I've experienced it. Here I am as proof that it works. I was literally suffering 2 years ago. suffering every day for years. I might be posting amazing things online, but deep down I was suffering. I was depressed. I had physical ailments up the wazoo. Gosh, like I was always hurting. And now I'm happy every single day. Every single day, I find something to be grateful for. And when you rewire your mind to always find the good, always find something to be grateful for, then guess what? Your mind is gonna, your reality is gonna always have something good and have something positive and have something to be thankful and grateful for. Because what you think, what you look for, you're always gonna find. So find the good, find the positive. See that you are a co creator with God. You create your own reality. All starts right here. Change your perspective, change your reality. I feel like I was all over the place, but I also feel like you can get something out of all my babbling today. I just have a lot to say and I just have a lot to share. A year ago, I only wish to be able to have the courage to speak like this. And here I am now, sharing my truth. And I truly hope whoever is listening feels encouraged today, encouraged to take the leap, face their fears. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You've got this. You can do it. It's tough at first. Once you make the decision that you are going to change, once you make the decision that you want better, the world is going to rearrange. So you get that. And that means, usually, it means losing things, losing people, losing jobs that no longer align with that version of you that you want. And you have to see that when things are falling apart, it's not falling apart to punish you. It's falling apart to make way for that version of you that has something better. Because what you have now that doesn't feel like it's in alignment with God, it's not serving your highest purpose, it's gonna fall away. To make things easier for you, learn to just let it go and trust the process. Trust that God has your back and that there is something better for you. But you gotta trust, you gotta believe it. Believe. When you ask God for something, you have to believe that it is done. No doubts. And don't try to control the outcome. Just trust the process. God already knows. You already told him. Trust the process. Relax. Enjoy the ride. That's what I've been doing, and it's been great. Really, truly. You can do it. I believe in you. As we come to the new year, make that decision. Make that decision that you are going to step into that better version of yourself. You've got this. I believe in you. And you have to believe in yourself. Don't listen to your negative thoughts. They're just thoughts. Let it pass. Acknowledge them, let it pass. Know that everything is always working out for you. As long as you stay aligned with God, everything is always working out for you. Well, thanks for listening, guys. I love you so much. I cannot wait to see the version of me in 2026 because every day I'm just growing and becoming better and better than I was yesterday. And I truly hope that is your goal also for yourself. I love you. Mwah! Mwah! Have a great new year. Happy New Year!